Hey guys, welcome back to Dispersed with Krista and others. As you can see today, I have a guest. This is Bevlyn. Bevlyn, say hi to the people.
Hey guys, this is Cristabel without an H, and it's here that welcome back to Dispersed. So as you can see, we have food, and we're just gonna be chatting about a couple of topics. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and since this is a discussion, please just leave your comments down below. We just like to hear your opinions.
And guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and go watch other videos. The links will be in the description below.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna take off my glasses because I think the light is reflecting. So yeah. We're just gonna get into the food now. We should probably get something to eat now, and yeah, so that you don't get hungry because
when life becomes a trip, pack a bra, get a grip. So when the cup runneth over, the fam will get to sip.
we also have different things. This juice slaps. Oh my goodness, this juice is very good. I think it's an Namibian product. Yeah, it's just an Namibian
This is
product.
the first Namibian product we actually like.
Yeah.
I will have it.
Yeah, and some wings, yeah. Okay, the topics are going to be in a certain order because I feel like they feed into each other. So, like some of the traits that you come with from being in a private school or government school, wherever school you were at, and how you carried out through university, and now as a grown up, like how it impacts your general life. So, yeah, we're going to be eating while you're doing that. So what's your take on like people taking their kids to private schools and they can't afford the lifestyle? Like you can afford the school fees, maybe your company is paying for the school fees, but you can't afford the lifestyle.
Okay, personally for me, like from my perspective, I just think that as a parent you would want to provide like the best for your child, right? So for me it makes sense if I can work very hard and then I take you to a good school so that you get a good education. But then at the same time, as a parent, you always tell your child, no, don't fit into peer pressure, but the reality is it will happen. Like especially as a teenager.
Because as a child.
As a child, like you're a child, and you get to school and then other kids are,
It starts with the lunchbox.
actually
People open the lunchbox.
and then you have and then
They have little,
juice box.
or like a separated, intersected lunchbox there.
Because this is me speaking from a firstborn perspective, and a person who's also like, I think I'm an adult to a certain extent, right? And then so I can relate to my parents and I can relate to my like siblings, like
you've been through the process.
I've been through the process. So now the issue is if you take a child to a private school, good for you as a parent. Like it's amazing, like
It's great.
it's great. But then at the same time you don't understand the psychological impact that it has on the child.
Yeah, that's very true.
So now what do you think should happen?
I feel like going to a private school, you have to afford the lifestyle, like, period. Because let's say your child is excelling in sports, right? Now they need hockey sticks, they're doing athletics, and private school, they're like, hey, we want white shoes, hey, whatnot, and then they do really well, and then they end up going on tour or something. You yourself have never been out of the country,
And you cannot afford.
you can't afford a ticket or whatever. But your child is excelling, so and you took them to the school, so you have to support them throughout. So what must happen then?
Because as a child, you would want to understand, but it's very difficult.
You're a child.
When you're a teenager, it's difficult to understand.
There's peer pressure. You want to fit in. You can't fit in because you're not surrounded by these rich kids. They're talking after holidays. You went to Kumushabra. They're talking about going to Europe. They're talking about how they got a PS. It's like a whole different dynamic, and I feel like it's a tricky situation because you can't guess how your child is going to be like. You can't guess whether they're going to turn out well. You can't guess whether it's going to break them, because they could utilize the opportunity and get a scholarship, go to a good university, blah blah blah. But then, what if you break them and now they're depressed? Because I know some people who committed suicide because they couldn't fit. So what's wrong with just taking your child to an affordable school where if you take them as a parent, you still be able to have money to spare, to spoil the child, to do whatever they want to do, to travel and all those other things.
So this is better. But then now, how do you draw the line between an okay school and
Your bank balance tells you what's okay.
Well, that's the thing. But you see now, the shape of the economy in Zimbabwe, right? Other parents, again, this is unfortunate. Other parents, when they took their kids to these expensive schools, they could actually afford it.
Yeah.
But now, with the things that are happening, they cannot afford anymore. And that is, again, that is an impact of the child on the child. How do you prepare for these things? Because now your child is in, let's say, Form 3. How are you going to transfer them so that they don't have a psychological impact with this economy? So that's what's happening.
Being a parent is hard. Like, period. You don't know. You are still trying to figure out what your child is like. They are still trying to figure out what they're like. So it's like, what is the best thing at that particular point? I don't think there's a right answer. But in general, I think there needs to be a conversation, like a relationship between a child and a parent. Because once you're constantly in conversation, the child is content with whatever they have in life. Because I feel like a lot of parents also now, maybe because I don't know the way they're raised or I don't know, but you tend to like put so much pressure on the child, you know?
Just detecting, you're going.
Yeah. And then you never hear the child's opinion. So you end up having a kid who's depressed, who's trying to fit in but they can't fit in.
And from an African home, they'll tell you that it's
there's nothing like depression. What is depression?
Depression.
No, even depression, you don't know the children. Get to university, it's like the playing field is like leveled, right? Whether you're rich, whether you're not poor, but like whether you're not from a fortunate background, whatever, everyone goes to university. Let's say you're on a scholarship, a bursary, your parents can afford it. You're all there. So now, if you don't know yourself,
yeah. You meet Cristabel, and Cristabel, which comes from a rich family. I understand you come from a rich family. You meet Cristabel, who's coming from a rich family, right? And then you went to a group high school.
But you're not from a rich
But you're not from a rich family. And then now you want to be on the same level with Cristabel. But it's not going to work. Yeah, now you're committing, now you're doing unethical things to get money. Because again, peer pressure. And you respect that now you're becoming an adult because I think when you get to university, everybody is pretty much turning 19, 20, 21, they depending on if you took a gap year or not. Excuse me. And then now you're trying to compete with people who actually have money. Now guys, people have money in university.
They're trust fund kids, there are people who own businesses.
People who are there to play, people who were taught.
Which is why you need to know yourself. Because you get to know Shawaka family. Because you know you are being trained to be the breadwinner of the family.
Exactly.
You know your parents are eating muriwo sina mafuta.
So that you can
go to university.
But what do you do?
You're there popping bottles, not going to classes.
But you're playing with trust and kids. The person who was told, you know what, just go to university so that you can come get the family business. But no.
You're forgetting that you're in two different roles. You need to stay in your lane.
So again, it's important that you talk to your children before you send them whatever you want to send them.
To know, because I feel like some parents are not very honest about where they stand in terms of financials. Because you tell your kid you can afford it, meanwhile you're staying at home, you're struggling, but you're not letting you're not letting your child know that, you know what, we're sacrificing all we have for you to go here, right? And that's another thing. I don't think it's necessarily important for you to go to these like universities and like, if you can't afford in the UK and whatnot, or the USA, if you can't afford, tell your child, listen, we cannot afford. You're going to stay here in Zimbabwe and learn here. There are opportunities there. Point blank period. I mean, right now it's a bit tense, but I think. Okay, which university did you go to?
Personally, I was not a person who was dreaming to go out of the university. Once other kids were busy applying to university outside the country, I was content with just going to the local university. But then what happened is I applied. And then you know how they used to, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to put like your name in the newspaper if you actually made it. So I applied for the local university. They didn't take me in. So for me, with my results, I just got offended. Like I said, it's very important to talk to your kids. And then my dad said, I was like, you know what? I think you should apply to South Africa, right? And then, you know, like again, I'm a child. Because I do know these things that, you know, it's actually better if you like go out, like if you can afford it, great, like you can do it. Then he suggested it to me, then I applied. And then by the time they said reapply, I was actually done, I moved on. So that's how I ended up at UJ, University of Johannesburg in South Africa.
I think it's the Mazoe of Namibia. Is that it for me?
Shaking it was so cool.
Okay. I think another issue is that growing up in our generation is very hard because of social media. It has such an impact on character development, on being content, and because guys, there are people who are rich in the world, like very rich, and now you're always like seeing it on Instagram. You see people who are on trust funds, you see people, politicians' kids, you see people, CEOs' kids, and whatnot. Meanwhile, your parents are average earners, right? They're doing their best, and I honestly I salute average earners who take their kids to university without debt and everything. Because I think it's a very big achievement for you to leave university without owing anyone anything. You just know you're starting out your life. But at the same time, you still have that responsibility of supporting the people who put you in this place.
See, black tax.
It's there.
It's there. Whether you like it or not, black tax is there. So it's not compulsory to say, but you need to help out. Actually, if
the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's the thing. If one person made it out of Zimbabwe at the moment, you carry the load.
Personally, right, if my parents are struggling, I won't be able to be eating this. I can't. Imagine, my parents watch the video, have mom and dad.
It happens, eh?
And they're busy seeing me eating like this, like, I'm going to eat this food for the next 2 days or something. But now I'm here chilling, eating so much food, and your parents can't even afford
to buy exercise things for
your siblings. I don't think it's right, personally. I know it's not an obligation, but personally it doesn't sit well with me. So I would rather just give where I can.
See, again, it's a character issue. If you know where you're coming from.
Priorities!
You know where you're coming from and you know where you're going. And just see the bigger picture. Like if you work really, really hard, I promise you, one day you will stand on everyone. They will see that you've made it in life.
Why are you so like supporting everyone you want to support?
But that's the thing, unfortunately, black tax will always be there. It's not going anywhere.
Especially like in the situation that we're in Zimbabwe, you can't all in, bruh. You need to help out. You can't act like you came out of a hole when you know your parents, bruh. This is about to try this. You should try it first. I don't see your next.
Do it.
What do you mean? Oh my goodness. Why are you looking at me like I've tried it before?
Okay, it's fine, so at least there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't do sushi. No more sushi. I don't eat things that I like.
Let's see.
You see what I mean? You're out there with people who can afford to buy sushi.
You need to buy sushi because
But you don't even get it.
Exactly.
What do you think?
From the sushi person.
You're not a bad food.
Someone says you know quite taste.
I mean, I couldn't do the normal one.
Now this is the other side of the coin, right? My parents work really hard. They can provide for me. They can pay my rent. They can give me a fully paid car. But you make me want to feel bad.
Why did I feel bad for
Why
you?
should
It goes back to this whole thing of not being content with yourself. Because why are you hating when someone else is progressing? Jealousy. Oh, comparison is there. What is it? It's a thief of joy. Like when you start comparing yourself with people,
Other people.
when you start being jealous, yeah, which
say it like after being Muro.
hey, hold your chest, yeah. I am a wish. Because why are you feeling some type of way about someone else progressing? Maybe if you made better financial decisions with your money, you would be somewhere in your life. But you're out here spending on unnecessary stuff. Because you can't be competing with people who you don't even know how they're making their money. I think in general, when you're now employed and everything, job security right now, especially in COVID, like it's not, I don't want to say it's non-existent, but it's very hard to be certain that
you have a job.
Yeah, especially when you're foreigner, because I feel like if they're going to start retrenching people, why are they keeping you? You're like so I think it all comes back to like good financial habits. So you need to have been saving, but you can't save when you're busy trying to please people. Just being content with what you have and knowing that right now, because right now people just need to survive. You just need to wake up, go to work, eat, sleep, pay your rent. That's all you need right now. And every other penny you need to save. This is wasting money.
I appreciate what our parents do. Parents sacrifice, parents work hard, parents do the most for you to be where you are. The least you can do is give it your best. If your parents are bringing their bags to pay for your bills, the least you can do is try things like attending class. People don't.
Even going out Monday to Saturday
or drinking your party. The least you can do is do your part. Like at least at the end of the day, say I know I did my best. I failed, but I really tried my best. Now they say, now you're telling me, what if I only had done A, B, C,
maybe I'll be in a better place.
But like try before, because your parents are trying it.
Before I left for school, my parents were like, because I think majority of us forget why we left home to go to these countries, especially people who leave Zim to go outside of Zim. As soon as you cross that border, I don't know what happens. People forget. Like, I don't even understand it. Some people even, this whole thing of getting a job. You start getting a job, you start getting money. Guys, money is nice, right? You start getting a little income, you forget that you are on a study visa. Yeah, I know like a handful of people who got deported because they were forgetting about school. They were now busy chasing the bag. You are a foreigner, you are here for school. They will deport you, they won't even think twice about it. You said you wanted to come here for studying. Do what you came here for, because at the end of the day, because majority of us don't have, like from Zim, you don't get funding, right? Which means, and I know some people think it's the best, like people are paying for it. It's great and everything, but I feel like our parents go through a lot.
They really do.
Just to
so that
pay for
just look at the environment in the house in general. You will see like why people actually go for you to
go back to school and everything. And now I don't know, like
then you forget.
How do you forget that? How do you forget that before you came back to school in February or September for the Western kids or whatever, you were eating matemba. Matemba basically black Jamaican. Cabbage. Boy was cabbage. How do you forget that that's what was going on at home? And now you're just like living your best life. And even now the little money that you're getting, you're busy there buying outfits. Unnecessary things. Yes, I don't understand. Yeah, thank you for joining me, Cristabel.
My pleasure. I'll come back. Next
time you come back, there's no food.
I want food. You know I'll come back. I'll come back if only there's food. Food and money, guys. That's what the question is like.
Yeah, but this conversation was not to attack anyone. There's no right way of raising your child. There's no right way of spending your money. There's no right way of going through your life, how you live your life. But these are some of the things that we've noticed going along and some of our experiences, and just let us know what you think. And
as you guys noticed, we covered from every perspective, from the child's perspective and from the parent's perspective. So we're not saying that don't send your child to primary school. No, we're just saying that go abroad. We're just saying that use the resources that you have.
So on that note, thank you for joining us, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.